system, you'll be able to set up some settings for your software. Please make sure that you do not select the payroll. Okay, so if you have payroll enabled, please make sure that you unenable that or deselect this, because even though we have payroll on the system, we do not integrate on the payroll systems in South Africa. Okay, so across the world we do, but in South Africa, unfortunately, we do not have this function. So even though it's there, please make sure that you do not select this. All right. Then obviously on the configurations, you'll be able to select what you want in the system. Right. So the first option we have here underneath basic settings is, do you want the device to delete the transactions each time after they download from the device? Obviously, you will not select this because there is a high risk in doing this, meaning that, let's say, for example, you select this and then you maybe you get the transactions from the device, and then unfortunately there was a connection break within that, and then your device doesn't have any transactions anymore because your system deleted it. All right, and therefore your system won't have it because there was a connection break. All right, so please make sure you do not select this. This will just safeguard your information. Then also on the date and format, you'll be able to select what you want your date and format to look like. Time format, duration format, you can just select what you'd like. So I chose the following over here. I used the slashes, then I chose hours and minutes, and then hours and minutes for the duration format as well. I selected the enable short message and then email alert, USB, etc., etc. So I'll be going over that with you guys as well. Then obviously at the bottom, we use in South Africa, we use the Gregorian calendar, but if you're outside of South Africa, for example, you can choose the other calendars if you'd like. Let's go to the email setting. So if you did not select one of these options over here, for example, the email alert, then obviously you will not receive this email in your settings. Okay, so this is great. This is a great function. If you would like the software to send out SMSs or emails for, let's say, for example, if there was an employee that left early, or if someone came in late, or if someone is absent, right? So it'll send the following 3 reports to you if you have this set up correctly. So first, you will need an SMTP server. This you will receive from your ISP, right? So Internet Service Provider. If you do not know anything about this, please make sure that you contact your internet service provider so they can assist you with getting an SMTP server set up. Right. So once you have done that and you have the information, you can just input this here. After you've done, you just click on the test connection. If it is successful, then obviously it will work. Okay. Once you're done, please click on save. And then this, let's go to the next one over here. You're also able to restrict certain people's access to the software, right? So let's say, for example, you have a receptionist and you only want her to pull reports, but you don't want her to change the employee's information or view that, anything like that. Then you can create a role for that person and then just set it up for her. Okay, so the receptionist, I have clicked on add here, for example. You can name it whatever you'd like. So just have a quick look over here, the difference between the administrator and the receptionist. So underneath administrator, whatever you have selected, then if this person logs in with the administrator user, for example, then they can see whatever or do whatever is selected, right? So if you have the receptionist here and you select delete, for example, role, then she can come into the role and just delete that role, for example. Okay. If you wanted to update information, that's the edit, for example, or select this role, then you'll have to select this. Otherwise, if you do not want her to see the role information, then you'll just not select that, right? So you can set up what you want this person to do. Maybe you just wanted to pull reports. She should be able to select, view. You don't want it to delete, for example, a report. So you'll just set it up over here. You can also give her a mark there. And then select the departments. So if you do not select the correct departments over here, the departments that are not selected, for example, in this scenario, this person will not be able to pull reports on anyone allocated in the support department. But if you have this selected, then they can pull reports on anyone in the support department. On the user, you'll be able to create new users for login. All right, so let me just click here. For example, I'll click on this ad here. And let's create a login for this reception, right? So I'm just going to say REC, that's the username that she'll use, and she'll just use the same password over here. So let's say, for example, if you've created this now, then this person will be able to log in on this system on the reception at ZKTeco, for example. This will be her email, for example, right? And I'll just select the correct role. And then this person with the receptionist login details will then, if she logs in with reception, then they will only see the things that the role of reception can see. Okay, so you'll see here underneath, if I click on this reception here, she can only do the reports. All right, so let's go to operation log. Over here, you'll see whatever has changed on the software. You'll see that I've added a new user. I called it resec. Okay, and then you can just view whatever has been done on the system. The database, you can back up your database. You can initialize the database. This means you clean everything on the software. And then the backup over here, this is if you would like to back up your database as is. Okay, so very important to make sure that you have some backups. Otherwise, you will lose information if you ever delete the software and you do not have any backups that you've made. Right. Let's say, for example, you have now installed the software for the first time and you want to restore this database. You can just click on restore, select one of your backups, right? So one of your database backups. And then after you've done this, it will load. And then you have that backup that you've maybe created in the past. You can always change your database if you'd like, but unfortunately, ZKTeco will not offer any support if you want to change it to something else, to another database, for example, that is not the default database of ZKTimeNet. All right, you can also view or you can set up how often your software should delete the logs on your system. Let's say, for example, you do not have a great PC and you need to make sure that at least all the attendance records are deleted. So at the moment, we have 14 attendance records. I would not know why you want to do this because usually you want your information saved. But for example, you don't have a strong PC and you'd like to delete some information, you can do that as well. All right, so let's go ahead here.